I'm in a bit of a funny mood. I was in a bit of a funk yesterday. I think I was pottering about the house. I had the day to myself. I could have gone out anywhere and done anything. And you know what? I stayed in the house, and it's probably the biggest mistake that I made. I think I mentioned on Thursday's video just how important it is for, I think, your own mental health just to get outside, to go outside, and whether it's doing the gardening, whether it's doing allotment here, and whether it's walking up a hill or doing whatever you like, but getting outside and doing something. And I was in a right funny mood yesterday. I was in a right funk. I was moping about the house. I was restless, but I didn't go out. I was full of energy and I didn't do anything. I watched the football. It was brilliant. Loved watching the football. I watched the rugby. It was marvellous. I didn't eat particularly well, and I don't think that helps, does it? You know, when you eat junk, and it never does you any good. So today's another day. Today is Sunday, and I got up, I got out of bed, out the house nice and early. I've been pottering about the allotment. I got annoyed. I brought the camera up and I turned it on, and it said no SD card in it, and I was like, oh man, so I can't record anything. So luckily I had the wildlife cam with me, the trail cam, and that's got an SD card in it. So I took that out, formatted it. It's not as good as the normal card because you can't write data to it as quick. So I'm only filming in 2K today instead of the usual 4K that we do these days. But hey ho, but I'm here. I'm at the allotment. We're going to do some jobs. I don't have anything in particular planned. One thing, this is going to sound really weird, one thing that really cheers me up all the time is doing the paths. I like really nice paths, and I use natural wood chip, and the problem is the weeds grow in the wood chip. When it starts to break down, the weeds grow and they look messy, they look tatty, but I've got a bit of a plan. So tell you what, less moping about in here. Let's get up, let's get outside, and let's see what's going on. Hopefully you can see I've already been kind of a little bit busy. You can see the different coloured wood chips up and down the main path here, and all the paths up and down the sides and that here are all in different stages of wood chip broken downness, we'll call it. But I don't know if you can see here, this is old wood chips, and look, this is what happens when they start to break down, and they do make really, really lovely compost. That this happens, you get weeds in them, and it's a pain because I love it when you've got the nice fresh wood chips down. And it looks like this. It looks blooming marvellous. The light coloured ones. This here, believe it or not, this is new wood chip as well. And this along here, but slightly different colour. This is more wet than this. This is fresher. This is a different type of tree to this, because I'm very, very lucky that we've got a local tree surgeon who comes along and he dumps a big old massive pile of wood chips over there whenever they've been digging trees. They don't dig trees, I guess they do dig trees, but whenever they've been chopping trees down and producing wood chip, they bring it along there. Obviously it saves them money, doesn't it, because they don't have to pay to dispose of it, but it's brilliant for us for the paths. I mean, it does take a bit of maintenance. I've been walking on this year, I reckon I've been walking it for about 2 years, I think. And let me tell you what, let me go up here. You'll have to excuse the back of me for a second, because I've got the shovel all the way up here. But you know, one of the many benefits of having a remote microphone with a new camera is that I can walk about and we can see what's going on. But let me just get a shovel full of this stuff here. Let me come on, look, let me show you. Look at this. Look, isn't that absolutely wonderful compost? It is marvellous. And you might be wondering, what on earth is he going to do with all this? Well, I've got a plan. So I'm gonna bring the wheelbarrow over. We'll bring the wheelbarrow over, right? We'll scoop up a big section of path here. We'll go over there and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to be doing with it. Right, we've scooped up a load of wood chip, and let me walk along here. We've got your handheld, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe it's if I move my head out the way, you can see back there, just in front of the brown wheelie bin. The brown wheelie bin, by the way, that's what I put the camera on top of when I'm filming. You can just see in front of there where I've cleared the path, and if I spin round here, you can see where you can maybe see, I don't know. Look, here you go. Look, here's another big section that I've cleared away. It's doing just a job, but what's the $1 million question? What on earth? What's he doing with all that stuff he's scraped up off the path? Well, let me come over here and let me show you what I'm doing with it. So here it all is in the wheelbarrow. That's how much, again, you can sort of see it there. This lovely, lovely broken down sort of material. This is what we're doing with it. This big, massive metal bin that appears to bin, I don't know why I've called it a bin, a bed, I guess. I don't know, it seems to cause a lot of consternation with people as to why it's so big, and they think I should cut it in half because that's the best way to have it. Cut it down in half and put it in 2 bins. But I've got great plans for this, and look, you can see in here where the bulk of the material is these broken down wood chips. So underneath this, we do have normal, not broken down wood chips. We've got cardboard, we've got leaves, we've got old bits of comfrey and rhubarb and stuff like that, all breaking down underneath there. And this is the layer. This is going to make the bulk of it. I'm going to bring it up hopefully another 6 inches or so at least with this sort of material before then starting to pack on top of it with topsoil, sand, compost, that sort of stuff. And while I'm here, I think I've found the next job I'm going to do. I don't know if you can see this big sort of mangled mess behind us here, with the pea and bean frames have taken a bit of a battering with all the storms recently, and it's okay. They're not broken. They've just come apart. They're just sort of pushed together. They've just come apart. They're a bit broken, but it looked awful. What a mess. And I think, you know, when you want things to make you feel better, I think just doing a job like that. So I'm going to tidy them up. We're going to get them tidied up. All that black plastic mesh, I've mentioned that before. I'm going to tear that off. I'm going to do something else with it. I've got a plan how to do them all up and stuff like that. But let's get over there. Let's get that sorted and make things better. I mean, just look at the state of this. I mean, what a blooming mess. This old archway in here that lasted a year before it rusted through and snapped. But I do have a plan for new archways this year. And it's getting tangled up in the net. You see, you know, when you're just trying to do a job and something like that happens. Right, let's get rid of this over here. We do have a plan for two new archways, not just one. So I think it was a couple of weeks ago on a video, I'd put a thing out about where you think I should put the archways. I'm looking for my knife for my snips, and they're over here. And they are, because this is held onto here with cable ties. So we're going to take these off. So we're talking about the archway and where it's going to go, and I think there's going to be 2 archways. So I need one for the sweet peas, and I need one for the squash. I think I said pumpkins in the video at the time, but what I meant to say was squash. So I'm just going to do mini varieties of squash, you know, like an uchikuri or something like that, so it's not like a big massive huge weight going over an archway that needs supported. But I've got a bit of a plan. But there's going to be quite a lot to this. I mean, these frames actually that I'm using, I got these from, I think it was Wilco, before Wilco went bust and then came back. I do have a video about them that I'll put at the end when I put them together. They're actually pretty decent. They do have a habit of toppling, shall we say, when it gets too windy. I mean, they'll stand up to a pretty strong wind, but those storms that we had just a couple of weeks ago were pretty horrendous, I think, for most things. So this is actually going to take me a little bit of time. Let me get cracking with this, and we'll come back and have a look. So it's free of the frame, and let me just show you this a little bit closer. Let me show you there, see if you can see it. There you go. Look, we're hiding behind it. Hopefully you can see this plastic mesh now. It's a funny one, this, because it's good stuff. It's a good material. I bought it a couple of years ago, and it wasn't cheap at the time, I don't think. It wasn't like mad expensive, but it wasn't cheap. But the problem is, look, I don't know if you can see it there, but the mesh, I think the mesh is too fine on it. So it's too tightly knitted, and when the wind comes across this way, so all the allotments you can see are sort of over that way. We're quite sheltered this way because the garden centre's there, the big trees and all that. But when the wind comes that way, and of course this is over here like this, isn't it? And it catches it, and these frames aren't the most robust, and it pulls them over. So I've got a bit of a plan that I'll come to in another video. I'm not doing it today. I need to wait for Amazon to deliver something, and it's going to add a little bit of colour, and I think it'll look brilliant. It'll look like a bit of a Bobby Dazzler, I think. And it was like, I think it was last night. I ordered it on Amazon. I was like, when I was just feeling a bit miserable and a bit of a funk, and I thought, I'm going to cheer myself up. Let's order something bright and colourful. So I have ordered something that's going to add a little bit of colour into this space. But this frame is still it's still looking a bit, I don't know, not very happy, we shall say. The bottom bits are actually in the ground pretty well. You know, the bits that are there, but they're leaning over. It needs to go that way. Like I say, the wind comes this way, so everything's like leaning over like this. So I just need to shove it that way a bit, and I need to tidy all this area up. and I'm blissfully ignoring the state of the bed that's underneath it that is currently full of dead marigolds and weeds. I'd say that's the combination down there, but that's very much a job for another day. So I'm gonna crack on with this. I'm gonna see if I can make some sense out of it, and I'll come back to you in a bit. And that's another job done. Hopefully you can see these are looking a bit better than they did before. This one's been fixed. This one had a load of like fruit net and stuff on it. I've just peeled all that off. It's gone in the bag. I'm going to the recycle centre on the way home. We'll get rid of that. It was all mangled and torn and whatnot. This one all sorted out. You saw it was in bits before. Like I say, these just clip together. They're absolutely smashing. They go up, and because there's nothing on them now, with the winds come again, if we get more storms before the springtime, it's just going to blow through and it'll be fine. But we've just got this, the material there, it's all just wrapped up and it's held together. I don't like the idea of single-use plastics. It is going to go over there. It's going to go in the pile. You know, the pile that we've got where we just keep things that you never know when you might need. Remember just the other week when I was fixing the fence at the front and I did a fence post, and I found 2 bits of wood over there that were just the job. So this is going to go over there. I don't know, I might try and put it on some of the fence over there, actually, you know, another layer of material to stop weed seeds and things coming through into the plot. I don't know, it'll go over there. I'll think of something to do with it, but I'm chuffed a bit. I fairly bit cheered myself up, you know. I love doing the paths. The paths are really difficult to do, you know. It's a right chore, scraping the old stuff up, putting it in a barrow and taking it over there. Putting the new stuff out, it's dead easy. That's a 2-second job. Scraping the old stuff off, man, it's back-breaking work, but I'm chuffed that I fixed these, you know, and I've cheered myself up. I was a bit miserable, I was a bit down, but I'm back. We're back to good. Anyway, thank you for watching, folks, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.